Καλημέρα σε όλους. Good morning to all. Apostles, thanks for the introduction and congratulations for organizing once more the forum. Okay, the presentation is here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you our approach on seafarers training. I'm an engineer, so I follow logical steps, so we do it step by step. First of all, a brief introduction on the company. Angelicoussis Shipping Group consists of 3 companies. Maran Tankers is for the tankers, Anangel is for the bulk carriers, and Maran Gas is for the LNGs and LPGs. Last week, Maran Gas was awarded as in Lloyd's list as the global operator of the year in London. And some information about the fleet itself. So you can see the numbers of the ships in operation and on order and the average age of its fleet. Here I would like to notice that all ships, the majority of the ships are flying the Greek flag and they are manned by Greek officers. Now let's try to approach training step by step. Back to basics. Is seafarers training needed? Definitely, yes. But why? The seafarer is the easy target. He is the first to be blamed if something goes wrong. We all know that he is overloaded with international, national, regional, port, whatever, name it, regulations and requirements. He's not a magician. There is a limit to what every seafarer can do. But on the other hand, everybody, including us, means society at large, the industry, everybody wants to avoid unsafe practices like the one in the photo. So yes, training is definitely needed. Back to basics too. Is seafarers training required? Yes. STCW, all conventions require some statutory training. Apostles made a big list of the new training requirements. But on top of that, we have industry requirements and we have company requirements. And for those who are not familiar with industry requirements, I will give you some examples. For tankers, the OKIMF. Does the operator provide training policy exceeding statutory requirements? Senior officers at deck bridge team management courses, master ships handling course. We continue with OKIMF again, this TMSA. We need to have refresher training for all ranks. We need to monitor the training. We need to organize seminars. Each seafarer should attend a seminar at least every 2 years. Risk assessment, incident investigation, you name it. So we have a lot of detailed and very specific training requirements coming from the industry. This is for the tankers. And for LNGs, that was mentioned before in the first part of the forum about the SICDO and the LNG training courses, where we have the gas tankers, operators, and terminals together where they came up with an LNG training course. So yes, there are a lot of industry requirements. Back to basics 3. Is current training system sufficient? And Clay in the first session mentioned about these famous accidents, but there is room for improvement definitely. And let's forget the big accidents that attract media and attention. But statistics, and go to statistics, and EMSA published this list, is casualties in Europe over the last 3 years. So we have every year 150 collisions, 100 contacts, 150 groundings. So yes, there is room for improvement, and training, together with technology, are the vehicles to improve the safety records and protect the environment. So let's assume that you want to see what is available out there and you want to check the training options. I don't promote Google, but I just typed Maritime Academies yesterday, and you come up with 2 million results. Let's try to narrow it down. If you click maritime training, you get 17 million results. So it's a lot of training out there offered to ship owners. If you have an enthusiastic guy like this one on the photo, you will need 7,000 hours, 5 seconds per site, so you will need 2 years to check what is available out there. I don't think anybody in this room has so much time, so let's try to find another solution. So back to basics 4. Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, he said that excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We are what we repeatedly do, and excellence is a habit. And please remember these two words, repeatedly do and habit. What seafarers repeatedly do? Navigate, enter ports, operate engines, load, discharge ship, communicate, drills, fill papers, which is in fashion recently. So in order to address all those issues, Angelicoussis Group decided in 2001, that's 11 years ago, to establish an in-house training center to provide for all officers over and above statutory requirements for free. And the training center is approved by class and by flag and is subject to annual audits. That was the solution that Angelicoussis Group decided at that time. In order to consider this in-house training option, you need to have commitment from the top management. It's an investment. It's impossible to define, if any, payback period. You need to identify the training needs. You need to have training facilities. You need to have a quality system. You need to develop your own KPIs in order to follow the industry requirements. You need to have an approval and certification for the Maritime Training Center in order that the certificates have some value. You need instructors. You need record keeping and databases. And you need to deliver the training and have support services. So that's what we have done. And just for your information, here is a photo of our classroom where we organize our in-house seminars. This is a photo of our full mission bridge simulator. Please here note that the models of the ships are the models of the ship's company. So they are tailor-made models for the simulators. And the same goes for the engine and the cargo simulator we are using. Record keeping. The training are divided in three categories. It's mandatory, it's optional, and nice to have. And this depends on the company and on the rank of the officer. We have a green and red light system, so we know which training is overdue or missing. And then we can accordingly plan the training. Something else we have done is combining databases. This is our own database, it's the Danaos, and we try to combine it with Seagull, which is the system we use for onboard training. So we try to have one big database. Otherwise, it's impossible to control and monitor training, which is one of the industry requirements. The training system, in one slide. So here in the middle, we have the training requirements, what needs to be taught. We have the tools, how to do it. And then we have the database, who will attend. So combining all these three things, we can develop, and we do develop every month, a training program which is tailor-made and addressed to specific officers who are missing this type of training. In our in-house courses, we have different types of courses. We have specific technical courses like SIGDO simulators. We have generic technical courses for the various standards, managerial courses, interpersonal skill courses, other courses, you name it. Any type of courses can be developed. And some statistics over the last years. Last year, we organized 195 seminars, and altogether we had something like 3,000 participants from the three companies of the group. Instructors, we used 42 instructors, 21 were company staff and 21 were external, from makers, class societies, service providers, experts from the field, the ministry, administrations. Leave periods, yes, this is interesting. We need to respect the leave periods of seafarers, and we need to find a balance between the training needs and the leave periods, because they deserve some time on leave to enjoy life and be with their families. So we take that into account as well, and we try to have a minimum number of seminars per year, between 3 and 4, maximum 5. So we need to find that, keep that balance as well, and those are the results. Every year, few seminars. The most difficult thing in training, and Apostolos knows that very well, is to assess the effectiveness of training. Because everybody is happy, we organize a lot of seminars, everybody gets a certificate. Yes, but is training effective at the end? And I give you an example on how we try to measure the effectiveness of the training. Chemicals on board. Okay, we have a normal classroom from the maker, we have manuals on board. And what we are trying to do is, in order to assess the effectiveness, is to measure, for example, or compare on-board consumption of chemicals and boiler's performance before and after training. We try to develop this type of tools in order to measure the effectiveness of the training. And chemicals is one example. We try to do similar things for other courses as well. Advantages of in-house training is non-profit, it's a big investment for the company, and long-term results are expected. It's free, we encourage participation of the officers, and also we encourage proposals and feedback. We want the feedback of the officers in order to develop new courses or amend existing ones. It's tailor-made to address specific training needs, and we need to have one in-house database for all our records, and that's what I showed you before. On top of that, it brings closer officers and company, and it helps team building. And on top of that, it can be fun. Remember that adults, when they go back to classroom, sometimes they feel like kids, they want to have fun. And training, in-house training, helps compared to sending someone to a sterile maritime academy which has nothing to do with the company. How many shipping companies are registered in Greece? You have any idea? Something like 700. And how many have in-house approved training center of this size for further training?
2.
I don't reply.
2.
I just say that in order to show to you that it is having in-house training is not the easy way. It's the expensive way. It's a difficult way. And it pays back at the end. I will sum up, Apostolos, try to keep the 15 minutes with the training triangle. What I think of training. We have the shipping company, we have the quality training center, and we have smart training. So training has to be a habit, like Aristotle said, a little bit every year, through a quality maritime training center. It has to be relevant to what seafarers repeatedly do. There is no need for sterile academic knowledge. They are overloaded with such knowledge. You need to have the company to be involved in order to identify training needs and develop training material. The company shouldn't go out there and buy what is available, shouldn't go for the cheap solution. They should check, identify their own training needs, assist a training center to develop tailor-made training material. That's the meaning of this training triangle. On top of that, the shipping company should hear what seafarers are asking for. They need feedback and proposals from the seafarers. And the last one is to keep it simple and smart. Smart means, I think, simple, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Thank you.